Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video, as you can tell from the title, is 4th grade Eureka Math. This is the big takeaways from Module 1, okay? So your kids should be moving into Module 2 if they have not already. So today's video is pretty much just a wrap-up of things that they should have gotten and take away from Module 1, okay? So if they have not, these are some of the things that you want to keep enforcing or reinforcing at home, okay? And if you are here in my area and you need a little bit of extra support, your child needs a little bit extra support, please reach out to me. I do tutor also during the week. But anyhow, let's go ahead and jump right on into it. So, the big takeaways from Module 1 are 3 things I gathered. One is place value. So that is understanding in 4th grade, billions, millions, thousands, hundreds, tens, ones, all the way down to tens and ones, okay? So that's pretty much the gist of it, okay? Knowing how to write those numbers and things of that nature, and how to manipulate those numbers, okay? Second thing is rounding, okay? So in Eureka, they use what is called a vertical number line. So normally we would see a horizontal number line starting at 0 or whatever number you want to start at, okay? And it is on a horizontal line. They taught in Eureka a vertical number line, okay? And the third thing, which is going to be very much key on ELG, is word problems, and that is for third grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, all the way up. Okay, so definitely for 3rd grade, 4th grade, there are a lot of word problems on that ELG. So multi-step word problems, being able to add and subtract, is what they did here in Module 1, and the specific strategy that they used was a tape diagram. Okay, so I know you have seen on the homework coming home that it's requesting them to use a tape diagram, okay? And you as a parent probably have no clue what that even is, what it looks like, what do they mean, a tape diagram, okay? Hopefully your child has been able to shed some light with you on what that looks like. And if not, I'm going to give you, I'm going to show you what it looks like. What is a tape diagram, okay? If you are a 1st or 2nd grade parent, also, your child should be learning how to make a tape diagram, especially in 2nd grade. It's definitely in 3rd grade, making tape diagrams, okay? So, I'm pretty much just going to talk about like just 2 of those things, because the place value, that is more simple, and the rounding and the multi-step word problems is where kids seem to get a little bit more confused. So I'm going to start in those 2 areas, okay? So let's start first with rounding. Rounding on a vertical number line. So first, let's draw a vertical number line. Okay? And when I said midpoint, that means that they're going to take the number, find the number that is, the middle of whatever 2 10,000s or 100,000s they are looking to round closest to, okay? So let's say, for instance, we have the number, okay, 23,167. So here they are going to round either down to 20,000 or they're going to round up to 30,000. Another 0 there. Okay? So they're either going to round down or they're going to round up. Their job now is to find the midpoint. And the midpoint in every number, really, every 2 numbers you're going to round to, is going to have a 5 in it somewhere. So it's either 15,000, 25,000, 35,000, or 105,000 or 115,000 or something like that. So between 20,000 and 30,000 is 25,000. Okay? Now, their job is to figure out, is 23,167, is that closer to 20,000 or 30,000? So, what they need to look at is, where is it in relation to my midpoint? Is it above or below the midpoint? So, it's 23,167. Does that come after 25,000 or before 25,000? Okay? So, looking at this, they can tell already that 23 is below 25. I mean, just starting right there. 23 is definitely below 25. Now, this will get tricky if the number is close to 25,000, or if it's like a speck over 25,000, like 25,001. Okay? That is where it gets a little bit tricky, because then they will round that number up to 30,000. And so we can't always rely on, well, this number is smaller than that number. They need to think about the number in its entirety with all those zeros and those place values or digits coming after that. Okay? So 23,167 comes before 25,000, so it is right here somewhere. This may not be the exact place, but we're not asking them to find exact. We're asking them to round, and rounding is an estimate. Okay, so if the number comes before the midpoint, then they're going to round it down to 20,000. Okay, so this might have been in a word problem in some sort, and so pretty much their answer would be about 20,000. Okay, so the problem might have said something like, there are 23,167 students in an arena. About how many seats do you need for everybody to have a seat? You need about 20,000 seats. Okay, so that's pretty much what the whole point of this is, to get them to think about in the bigger picture, like, well, about how many do you need to, make sure everyone is taken care of or to satisfy this situation. Okay? So that is pretty much how this works with the vertical number line. Let's do another one real quick. Now, I recently subbed in a 4th grade classroom, and I had taken a look at all of Module 1 for 4th grade, and the multi-step word problems, which I'm going to share with you in just a second. They have to be able to do this and use a tape diagram to solve a multi-step word problem where they add and subtract, or add and add, or subtract and subtract in one problem. Okay? So they have to be able to round these numbers. They have to be able to give an estimate, use a tape diagram, and then they have to go back and find the exact answer. Okay? So they're requiring them to do a lot of things, all right? So when I say that their brains are moving and thinking, and that is a lot of processing, it's a lot of processing. So at home, when they're doing their homework, if it's taking them a minute to think, give them a minute. Just give them a minute and let them think it through. Now, don't take 10 minutes, okay? But give them a minute and let them think, because this is a lot of moving parts, a lot of things that they're asking them to do, okay? All right, so the multi-step word problems. You're going to see multi-step word problems, parents, from here on out. So just prepare yourself for that. And that seems to be the most difficult thing for kids, is to do more than one function or operation in a problem, so at a time, pretty much. Okay? So, let's say, for instance, the problem says, let me back up. So, tape diagram. They're required to use a tape diagram to solve the problem. Okay? Let me show you what a tape diagram looks like. And I'm going to show you a tape diagram, what it looks like in second grade, third grade terms. I'm just going to do a second grade tape diagram problem. So, let's say this is the word problem. Johnny has 10 apples. Okay? He gives away 6 to his sister Sarah. How many apples does Johnny have left? And I want you to use a tape diagram to solve that. So here's what the student would do. He would think about what is the total number of apples Johnny has. Okay? And he's going to take that number and use it as the top part of this tape diagram. Okay? So the total number, which is your whole, okay? And you may hear your second grade friends or first grade students talking about part, whole, because that's all that addition and subtraction is. You have a whole amount of something, and what are the parts? How much are the parts? Okay? So Johnny has 10 apples. That is the total, or the sum. He gives away 6 to his sister Sarah. Okay? So let's make this a little bit bigger, actually, so it can be more representative of the problem. So he gives 6 away to his sister. That's over half. So as you can see, I drew over half. And how many does he have left? So this is what we're trying to figure out. What goes in this box right here? Okay? How much is left? All right. Now, this is a tape diagram. You have the whole amount. You have part of the whole. And you got to figure out the other part that equals that top amount. So, we want our kids to understand or think about what number can we add to 6 that will make this whole thing equal 10. Okay? That is what the whole point of the tape diagram is. What number can you add to this to equal 10? There are several different ways to get to that answer. You can add on 6 plus 4 equals 10, or they can subtract. Take the whole amount and subtract 6 to equals 4. Okay? As you can see, this is part of what we call a fact family. This strategy works for any numbers you are adding and subtracting. Any numbers. I don't care how large or how small the numbers are. This is exactly what they're asking them to do. So if I put thousands behind this 10 and this 6, that will be the exact same thing that your fourth graders are having to do. Okay? Take this, but they're doing a lot more numbers. So this is on a smaller scale. Now their problem will say something like there are 26,482 seats in an arena. 10,111 people came in first and filled the seats. 2,499 people came in second and filled the seats. How many more people came in the third round to fill up the arena? So here we have our whole. We have one part. So this is the first round of people who came in. Here is the second round of people. And let me make this smaller. Okay. And then they have to figure out how many people came in the third round of people to fill in this whole arena. So they're asking them to round these numbers and figure out an estimate, and then after that they need to go back and figure out the exact amount. So is that a lot? Yes, it's a lot. It is a lot, and I hope that I explained it well. If I did not, please leave me a comment below. I want you guys to get it because I want the kids to get it. Okay? So again, just to wrap wrap up those 3 major takeaways from Module 1 for 4th grade math using Eureka is place value, rounding, and multi-step word problems with addition and subtraction. Okay? And so pretty much in the multi-step word problems with addition and subtraction, they are having to do those other 2 things. They gotta know the place value, and 2, they have to be able to round also and use that tape diagram. So the tape diagram should definitely be absolutely nothing new for a 4th grader. They should have seen tape diagrams from 1st grade, so that shouldn't be anything new. Okay? Alright friends, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and come back next week for more videos. Alright guys, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, like, share, and please comment below. Whatever it is that you need any more clarification on, please comment that below. I can't help you